So at the start of last fall in 2019, I told myself I was going to start reviewing touchscreen gloves. So I went and bought a plethora of gloves from various brands and cycled through a different pair every single day between then and, well, basically now. With Nike, I decided to go with the Sphere Running touchscreen gloves. Now, after using a pile of gloves over the last fall and winter, I've basically come up with this question. Who performs better, these gloves with a stylus or the gloves by themselves? With these Nike Sphere Running gloves, the $4 stylus comes out on top. Now, that was just a really wordy, unclever way of saying, don't buy this product. At MobileReviewsEh, Monty and I based all our reviews on actual usage. With these gloves, Monty put them on his snout and he tried to use, no he didn't. With these gloves, these aren't mine. Val is the person who helps me do a lot of the editing for these videos. It's her hands that you usually see in the videos, and so I got her gloves as well. So we've been using two different sets of gloves from the same brand, and they're actually not the same despite being marketed the same. We'll get to that. For these reviews, I'm going to talk about two things. These gloves as actual gloves, and then the touch capability of the gloves. So let's get started. When it comes to the gloves, the general quality is below average from my perspective. The gloves started pilling within a couple of weeks of usage. Those Val's didn't, which is kind of weird. The pilling occurs everywhere on my pair, but nowhere on the little gray ones. Now, the material for these gloves are actually different between the men's and the females. And so this set of gloves looks way better than this set for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't make stuff. I usually get annoyed with fingertips on my gloves because they twist and they don't quite fit properly. But with these Nike gloves, you can just easily twist it back and it would kind of stay in that position for a while. The elastic around the wrist area is snug and large, so it doesn't really get annoying after a while. Through the entire process, I learned that I've got below average thumbs in terms of length. For whatever reason, there's always a little gap between the end of the thumb and my actual thumb. Yikes. So that's the build quality of the gloves. Now, if you thought that the build quality was terrible, just wait till you watch these gloves in action. Now, from my understanding, most touchscreen compatible gloves use some sort of conductive material in the tips of them. So they're basically taking the electrical current from your body and then transmitting it through the gloves. And that's usually done through like some sort of copper thread. Now, to test the touch capability of this product, Val and I went and touched a bunch of different devices with different screen protectors. We used the gloves on naked glass, double tempered glass, sapphire glass. We tried it with a bunch of touch pads, as well as our Apple Watches. Like, I can't swipe. These things are terrible. I spent a lot of money buying a bunch of these gloves, so if you're finding these reviews useful, considering getting your stuff through my Amazon links, because $60 for a pair of these gloves, that is so bad, so bad. Now, prior to being washed for the first time, both pairs performed very poorly. Basically, the thicker layer that was on top of your screen, the harder you had to press in order for it to work. You had to push really hard to swipe. But the thing is, after you got it to work once out of, 10 attempts, you couldn't mimic that movement again. So like trying to text with these gloves, impossible. Actually impossible for most products. Now, after washing my gloves, this black pair did not work at all. They just ended up being really pilly normal gloves, which is why I say, the $4 stylus wins over these gloves. So if you're running with these gloves, make sure you've got like a little pen holder if you really want to use your smartphone without taking off your gloves. So that's all I got for this quick review. This is going to be another sub-series within my isolation video series. I've got, I think, 8-9 different pairs of gloves. Got some really cheap ones, some really nice ones, and most of them just don't work very well. First time watching all 9 videos, and do encourage you to click subscribe. Producing content. Again, isolation video series, 1 review a day. Boom! Pew, 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 pew. Your breath does not smell good.